This is a spray booth by these guys right here. How you say that, I don't know. Morrison, I guess. It looks to me like it's one of the best ones I have ever seen. It has like federal certifications, all kinds of cool stuff. Let's open it up in high speed.
Right, so it comes with, that's the spray booth, charcoal filter, another couple charcoal filters. I guess that's an intake batting to not let dust go in. You got 2 fans, big one, small one. There's a cage. I think this is for the exhaust system. We'll find out a little bit later. And a boot. I think it's like what's in the instructions right here. It does not come with the exhaust fan, so let me explain to you what that is. It has an exhaust system if you're outside, but if you just wanted to run, okay, right here, if you wanted to have a tube going outside, like if you were inside a building and you didn't want any of the overspray at all, or the smell, or anything to be inside, you could buy this little setup here. They sell it separately. Looks like. That's even pretty neat. I mean, this is way more legit than my other one. So according to this, has to be assembled. There's some screws and stuff for that. And this thing here is actually that heavy duty rubbery PVC, I think. And some parts of it are the sail material like my other one, which is a little lighter weight, which is better for storage. So if you're gonna store it, you don't want something too heavy. And I think the tent itself is made out of this tent, this is a sail material, so it's really strong. It's like a nylon, but it's really super strong. It takes, you know, high winds and stuff like that for sailing. So if you've never seen a sail, they're really strong, real well made. So it's like made out of that sort of thing. And this being like the jumpies, if you've ever seen those, the rubbery coated stuff. But this is the boot. So this goes on. Looks like in the picture here, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, this comes with it, and there's a little box here. And I think that's where this filter goes. I don't know, we'll find out when I get it together. I don't even think I'm gonna really need this portion of it, but it comes with it. But like, for instance, if you had a commercial building or something like that, would be really cool to have. And then have this set up too, like it shows in here. And this is what it looks like here. Again, I don't know if I'll even need that portion, but eventually I'm going to put this, one day I'm hoping that I'll have a large commercial building to do my filming in, and have the spray booth just deflated, and then when I need it I just inflate it up and then spray something and then deflate it down again. Another thing I noticed with this one versus my other one, it comes with an extra large bag. One of the problems is I never can get my other one back in the other bag. It was just so snug in there. This one, it's possible. I mean, I'm not real hopeful because it is really hard to fold these things up that tight, but
All right, let's air this thing up and take a look at it.
all right, so there it is. This thing literally takes minutes to air up. It's very little time with one fan. So it has one big fan that runs the whole thing. The second fan is to actually pressurize the inside of the spray booth so that you don't really need an exhaust fan with it. So again, the one big fan airs up all this. It's really big, and it airs this whole thing up. Makes it pretty sturdy to work out of. And then the second one, what it does is when you zip up that door and you zip up this door, it pressurizes the inside of the booth, and then you replace these areas. I don't know if these are actually, you know, there is some filter there too, but you replace it with these. This is your intake batting, and then these are more of the carbon filters to put on the outside windows. So the airflow goes through the booth, pressurizes from here with the second fan behind you, sorry, from here, moves this way, and then exits out one or two of these, depending on how you have it set up. You can, you know, these are, there's actually filters in there right now. You could probably just run it the way it is and it'd be fine. So before the wind gets too much, I didn't set this up to be in the wind right now. If I did, I would have those. What I do is use a little bucket full of concrete and then put them down here, and then have ropes holding it down. And on the base, you can do the same thing. Use the same bucket of concrete, and it'll actually hold up pretty well in even light winds. So this thing is really good for inside a building as well. All you do is you take this cage and set it up, put that boot on. That's a big boot that goes on there, and then that filter, those go on one of the sides here with Velcro. There's like a Velcro strip on here, so you can either pull this one off, okay, and you replace it with that boot. And then you can put an external fan here, and those are additional cost. If you don't have, you could probably even get one at Harbor Freight, it'd be fine. And then put a tube and then use that to flow outside the building. So this one here is set up really nice. I mean, this is like, it's got all the boxes checked for buying one of these. A lot of them have half of the boxes checked, and this one has pretty much all of them. Let's look at them all. One of the things you'll find on these is they have a really cheap zipper on a lot of them. This one has a pretty sturdy zipper. However, if I was pulling cars over, I would lay like a drop cloth down over here to keep that from getting ruined. It does have a furling area for the door. The door rolls off to the side. A lot of them roll upward, and that's no good. It's better if it goes to the side, because then you can get a taller vehicle through. It has a really good amount of area to paint in. A lot of them, they're too narrow. They say on them 13 feet, but that's the outside diameter. Like this one says 15 feet, that's the outside diameter. Let's look at the inside measurements. So the length of it is a little over 22 feet, 22'6". And the width, the usable width from the inside is, oops, I think it's 12 feet or 11'6" or whatever. It actually should go out wider when I have the bottom parts tied down. It was 12 feet when I measured it last time. When your average car is between 5 and 6 feet, so normally you'll get 3 feet on each side when you're painting in here, which my other one only has 2 feet on each side, so you kind of have a really narrow area to walk. This one has a full 3 feet, which is your normal spray booth width. Some things I notice is they use a really good sturdy thread, like this is probably 138, or you know, really thick thread. And they have on the back side of this, they have that PVC, the rubberized material, to kind of strengthen up where the straps are and where the tie down areas are. It has a really large window, and look at that, I think it's actually removable, isn't it? Never even noticed that yet. You can open it up if you want. The sides on the bottom, so you could actually roll it up. You could roll that up if you wanted to have it have just open air for whatever reason. One of the other things that you'll have on this one that a lot of them don't have is you have an area, you have a man door. And the important part about having a man door is trying to go in and out of this is a real pain. My other booth doesn't have a man door on it, but going in and out of the man doors is pretty nice. And then you have an isolated man door from here, so it's not that hard to do. You also have a place in here to mix your paint, so you can mix your paint right over here and not have to go in and out the door the whole time. You can wait till you're done with the project you're doing. Look at the size of that fan. That is huge. My other ones are like this one. So if you were to set this up on the grass, you have these that come with it. I think there's some rope in here. Let's see. There's rope. Or what do we got here? I don't know what those are. I'll have to figure that one out. But they have some rope, so you can actually tie off the bottom section like I was showing you, and that would help it from blowing away when a windy day comes up. If you get a gust of wind, if you don't do this on a windy day, this is just wait for fair weather. Actually, I just figured out what these are. These are sandbags, so you could fill these with sand and tie them off to the base. So that's pretty neat. It comes with sandbags too, so you can do that without having to buy anything. You could tie those off to the base here. So the other options are, some people go, well, I just spray in my garage with, you know, I'll just cover everything up. You know, I've done that for many years before, a long time ago. And I'm going to tell you, you can cover everything on your garage. You can cover it all up so tight and think that it's not going to leak. And you know what? Guess what? It will. You'll get overspray on all your stuff, and a lot of stuff is going to get ruined. So if you want to forego that, one of these is really cool. Now, what's nice about this one is if you're in another state, I mean a state that goes by federal stuff, this one here is federally certified. So check the link in the description, make sure it meets your required scope of what you're looking for, and make sure that that certification works for you. But it is federally certified, so that it is actual spray booth, so you can actually use it in the shop. So most of the other ones out there are not, so keep that in mind. And with the carbon filter setup and spout that goes out the door, which that's what that boot is there, you put on this thing. Here's a boot. You put on that door, and then you put this little box up, and then it has a little exit with a tube, I don't know, about 12 inches around, and that tube will let the exhaust go outside. So then, of course, it, you know, with the certifications, it becomes very good to have in a shop, so you're not breathing the paint. So anyway, there's a lot of pluses on this thing. Honestly, I think that it has an extremely good value for the price. Take a look at it. I paid a lot more for one with a lot less a few years back. Of course, they've been coming down in price, but a lot of them, again, don't have all of those things. And when you get it home, you spend a little less money, and you find out after you got it home that it doesn't have the fans, or it doesn't have the good quality zippers, or it doesn't have the exhaust system that you were looking for, and then you kind of get disappointed. This one comes with all that stuff, so keep that in mind when you're going to go to look to buy one. Anyway, I'll talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.